What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, September 13th. Friday the 13th, 2019. Whoa. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the verified one at Tim Geddes.
That's the most. Did you know that not only is it Friday the 13th, there's a full moon today?
Oh, spooky! Yeah, Halloween's coming up soon, even though it is 400 fucking degrees in San Francisco, and I'm wearing shorts and flip-flops. Even less professional than usual. Now, here's the question. Literally, there it goes. Mics are going live. I got a text from one Fran Mirabella III.
Oh, God.
Okay. And I'm not, as everybody knows, I'm Greg Miller.
If he's lying, he's dying.
I'm slowly moving into being your 65-year-old grandfather. Fran, I'm going to read you the text I sent Fran. And then I'm going to read Fran's response. And you have to tell me if I'm just so out of the loop, I don't understand, like, what he's trying to say.
Do it in his voice, though.
That's going to be tough, but okay.
No.
I texted him, you got a diamond loot chest collector's edition of Borderlands 3 here. We just got 2 of those. I'm going to unbox it on Instagram later today. You got a diamond loot chest collector's edition of Borderlands 3 here. His response, POG. All caps, P-O-G, no periods. POG. The hell's that mean?
It's a Twitch emote.
Is it?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
I think it's the dude that's like...
Your Golden Boy?
Chat, let me know.
Throw him up here. Throw up the chat in the window so I can see him.
Black-haired dude.
Everybody throw up pogs.
This guy.
See, yeah, I'm just roll over because it'll tell me what it's called. Yeah, Pog Champ. There it is. Yeah. See, wow. I'm not. That's
You're not
the
with
thing.
the kids.
Fran is a kid now. You know what I mean?
Fran, we're the cool hip kids out there.
Hey, I'm Fran. It's Lady.
What do they call the Golden Boy one? The Golden Boy. What's that short for? The one where he's like this.
What face?
Huh? Man. Twitch. I know nothing about it, and I'm on it. I'm on it at least once a day. Enough about that. Let's talk about Iron Man not coming to Smash, Monster Hunter slaying the charts, and video game sale lagging behind, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You can give us your questions, comments, concerns, and every other little thing under the video game sun. Then tune in to watch us record the show live. Twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. You can use all sorts of emotes that I do not understand. Because when I want to use an emote, obviously, I use on iMessage a little Twitch app, and then I use little Greggy emotes. Yeah. Or I just click on the button and find the emote I want. I'm not one of these kids with the cool hip shortcuts.
Yeah, I've never heard someone like outside of the Twitch like chat sphere.
And you're a child.
Yeah.
You should understand this.
Yeah. But I'm also very out of the loop.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is the canary in the coal mine thing. I remember when Tim used to know everyone on YouTube, and then when he started not knowing everyone on YouTube, that was a problem.
That's when there's a problem. Like, there definitely is a problem. With the Twitch emotes, I got lucky there. I really took a guess, but just contextually, I'm like, he's probably talking about that one.
Sure.
But there's a whole bunch of these emotes. The Frank one.
Yeah, Frankerface.
Yeah. I don't know. If I saw them all lined up, I'd be like, okay,
this should be a fun nickname. This could be
and then there's the one that looks exactly like Alexis Pence.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, yeah. The high.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
But it's not her.
It's not.
And I thought it was her. I thought that was one of our emotes. It was her.
You're on just random Twitch channels like, damn, we're popular. We're everywhere.
It really surprised you. I was like, oh shit, we made it outside. But, you know.
Of course, you can submit your questions, do that, watch live. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong. Tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you. As I said earlier, it's the national holiday that is Friday the 13th. You can come celebrate with us in a classic party mode. Go to kindafunny.com/Friday the 13th. You can watch one of my favorite party modes of all time, where I go around and kill everybody in Friday the 13th. It'll also help you understand why I'm so excited for Predator Hunting Grounds. Also, I'm trying to do a Borderlands stream this afternoon. So if you're watching live, you can chill out with me on, of course, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Yesterday, however, I say trying because yesterday, we did a stream on patreon.com/kindafunny of Borderlands 3 because I fucked up the comic book club. An hour into that stream, the board got so hot it just stopped working.
Yeah.
So we have a fan on it now, and I said, well, Kevin, do you not want me to test it? Do you want to push it? He's like, no, we should test it. So let's see if the fan's a solution. So we're still planning on streaming there, but if it abruptly ends and the company's failed, it's because everything melted.
And I have been touching the little box here, which was like, it burned yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
It's feels great.
The
I
fans
was
doing
playing
great.
my Switch yesterday, and it just shut down
That's crazy.
because that's how hot it is here.
I don't like it. I don't like that one bit.
Real dumb.
Everybody's like, move to
The
LA.
Switch is
It'd be
okay.
even worse in LA. All right. Andrea can do it because she's in shape. She, you know what I mean?
I'm not a
We
fan
can't.
of LA, but I will argue they have AC down there.
AC. Well, now theoretically too, if we had a real studio, we could have AC too.
That's true.
You know what I
We
mean?
could have AC here. We could have AC anywhere.
No, remember we brought that AC machine in here that one time. I didn't do shit.
Damn.
But that wasn't really AC.
I just do what Kevin says. You know what I mean? But thank you to our Patreon producers, patreon.com, Retro Games, Blackjack, and Mohammed. Today, we're brought to you by Hims, Manscaped, and Quip. But I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 4 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
I got 2 Nintendo stories for you, Tim.
Thank
so you
you,
should
Greg.
get
I
stoked.
need them.
This first one's, I could actually be 2.
Okay.
Because it's goofy in the front and then very serious in the end.
Okay.
We're going to go to IGN.com where Matt Purslow is saying Smash won't add Goku or Iron Man. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate creator and director Sakurai. That's how you say it.
Sakurai.
You say it with a Z, though.
No, I don't.
Sakurai.
I don't do that.
Sakurai has stated that the series will continue to only feature video game characters despite numerous requests from fans to add characters like Goku and Iron Man. The comments were made at Tokyo Game Show where Sakurai took to the stage to accept an award for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. His words were published on Twitter by a user and then translated by another user and verified by IGN Japan. Quote, I get all these kinds of requests from abroad like, where is my believed Iron Man? Or where is my beloved Goku? Sakurai said. Got it that time? However, basically Smash will only have content from video games in it. Despite this, and I cut out a paragraph here. He's talking about all the DLC they've had, Banjo and all the different Joker and all the people who've come through. Despite this, it seems like third-party Switch games is as far as Sakurai is willing to go. The games based on anime, comic books, with games being based on anime, comic books, or film being a step beyond his boundaries. Here's where we get serious, right? Because all that's goofy. Iron Man's never coming to Smash. We understand that, right? Sakurai also noted that he strives to work hard on DLC characters as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was his final assignment from the late Satoru Iwata, Nintendo's beloved president. Quote, I'm sorry for bringing up this personal story at a time like this, but making Smash Bros. On Switch was the last mission the late Satoru Iwata gave to me, Sakurai said. I've put my all into this game, and with more DLC, I continue to work hard. Aww.
I love this dude. I love how much he cares about video games as a whole and how he's put that love into Smash Brothers over decades at this point. He's been the man behind all the Smash Brothers games and every DLC pack, every single thing that can go into Smash Brothers. He's the one kind of overseeing and has his hands in all those cookie jars. When it comes to the Goku and Iron Man thing, this is like the first time I've ever heard of Iron Man. Goku's been a ongoing gag
people want Goku
in the
forever.
Smash community, and like not even gag. It's like people legitimately do want him. But I will say it's probably the most divisive choice ever, where there are so many people that are like, no, Goku is not in fucking video games, and like it turns into a kind of a flame war
Have you
pretty
seen
quickly.
Bandai Namco's entire video game
And
slate?
then people bring that up, and it turns really complicated.
you guys.
Here's my thing.
Here it comes.
I don't think that we'll see Goku in Smash Ultimate.
You
But
just heard it here on the awards stage.
yeah, but that doesn't matter. He said things
My
like he
apologies.
said things won't happen so many times, and then they end up happening. But I just think that with Ultimate, especially with all the interviews he's done recently with the direct kind of follow-up thing where he like broke down Banjo, like how he plays and stuff. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen this fucking video, after the Nintendo Direct that happened last week, Sakurai stayed on and did a like 15-minute breakdown of Smash 5.0 update, Banjo-Kazooie, how he plays and all that stuff, the home run contest and some other things. And it might be the funniest video I've ever seen in my goddamn life. It's just him chilling, being him, doing the whole hi, talking to the camera thing with the super matter-of-fact translator.
Yeah.
Translating everything.
Yeah.
But he's just in a room with his friends and coworkers. You don't see them, but every once in a while you hear them laugh like a studio audience.
Nice.
And it just makes it so much better. But like a perfect example of something he does is they're talking about the home run contest, and they're like, yeah, now you can play it with 2 players like you have been to in the past, but now it's enhanced. Let me show you an example. And like it cuts, and he's doing this all live, and he has 2 pro controllers, and he starts playing super advanced home run contest shit with 2 players at once with his fingers. And he's just going on 2 controllers. He stops and he hits it, and as it's going, he cuts it off and he goes, no, that won't work. That's not how you're supposed to play 2 players. Don't do that. And then you just hear like the room laugh, and it's just like, God, what the fuck is video games?
Have you ever met him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a picture of me and him at my first E3.
Wow.
I saw him. I started freaking the fuck out. He was in the 3DS area. It was when the 3DS was first revealed.
Is this when
ever?
Miyamoto cut in front of you that was to play
Yes,
someone else,
to
right?
play Kinect.
Okay.
But yeah, so Sakurai was there just wandering the 3DS area with Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus. Yeah, because that was his game. One of the only games he made besides Smash. Kirby's Air Ride as well. But he was just kind of like watching people react to his game, and no one knew who he was.
That's great.
I knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
And I asked to take a picture with him, and you could tell it was the first time anyone's ever asked to take a picture with him. Yeah, and like Alfredo took it from me. I still have it. I'll put it on Twitter at some point. But,
that's awesome.
Anyways, I'm really, really, really into the love that he has for this franchise. Obviously, I love the franchise, but where he's at right now.
How many spirits do you have?
All of them.
How many is that?
I don't remember the exact number.
7,000 or something.
No. It's 1,347.
How silly of me to say 7,000.
But I really like that where we're at right now, where you can tell that the DLC plan is starting to wrap up a bit.
Yeah.
We only have one character that we don't know left. We have Terry coming, and then there's one more spot in the character pack, but he's already said, I'm going to put out more. Like, there's going to be more after that. He didn't announce another character pack, but it might just be kind of piecemeal here and here. Yeah. But his whole thing, and with him talking about like my final mission was from Iwata to make this game, combined with what he's been saying of like, I understand, like an interview he did a couple days ago, he was just like, no Smash Brothers game will ever have this many characters. No video game will ever have this many characters from different video games in one game, and I want to keep it that way. Like, this is my project. This is my mission to make this the ultimate Smash Brothers game, and I'm going to just keep adding characters that make sense because I love video games. I know video games, and I want to just keep going for as long as Nintendo will let me and as long as I feel like it's worth doing. And I'm like, all right, I'm all in. Let's keep going. So I understand with that sentiment, Goku not being part of the plan, even though he is very wanted and would straight up break the internet if he was announced, you know. But I can see Sakurai taking this now as like a real personal thing to like love and celebrate video games themselves.
So 2 questions, piggyback, or I guess 3 actually. Is this? I mean, you talk about it being it's his final mission. It's his last mission from Iwata, but I do think that is a great subtext for what's happening, because I know before he said he's done doing Smash, right? But then he always ends up getting pulled back in.
Yeah, it's always been like I want to retire. It's never been I'm retired.
Okay.
You know, he works very hard. That's Sakurai, Greg.
I've seen all the memes. Yeah. So do you think this is his final Smash? I can do it too, guys.
Yeah, I do, but that's mainly based on he is getting older, even though he doesn't look it, and I think that he's planning to work on this game for years.
That's my next question too. Do you think this is the final Smash? Like, is this a game that they just add to throughout the Switch's life cycle, continue adding these characters to, it continues to sell us, it always does, and then when we get whatever comes after the Switch, do they deluxe edition this and put it back out?
I would hope so. Yeah. Like that to me would be ideal, because we're gonna lose characters. If we do see a sequel to Smash, at this point, I would want it to be something radically different.
Okay. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale style.
No, like still the same. But like get it down to like maybe instead of what we're coming up on 100 characters at some point, instead of that, maybe 20 characters that are the characters that we know, because we can't get too random and obscure with just 20, but with new movesets. Okay. Let's go back to maybe even just the original 12 to start off, and then with the way the games work now, have DLC packs and stuff. But sure. Give Mario totally different moves than what he's had for the last 20 years now. Link, same thing. Samus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that could be cool, but I still want, like, Ultimate exists. Yeah. And I hope that it will continue to exist and be ported and to continue to be added to, because it's just insane.
Okay.
Gotta love it.
You've answered my questions. I appreciate you.
Never thought we'd see Banjo-Kazooie in it, but we did.
I never thought we'd see Goku, but I'm still holding on hope. Number 2, there's a new Switch firmware out. This is Eddie at GameSpot. The latest firmware update for Nintendo Switch has arrived, and it includes a number of new features, tweaks, changes, and fixes. Version 9.0.0, released September 9. Introduces, well, I'm just reporting on it now, I guess. Introduces a new search feature for the news channel, a new option to pull out a QR code on your Switch to check in at events, and new touch screen sensitivity settings. The update also introduces the ability to stop the Switch from recognizing inputs from the console's buttons, except for the capture and home buttons. This only applies to the upcoming Switch Lite. Additionally, the new Switch 9.0.0 update adds a section to the account pages for online play invites, and as its name suggests, this is where you'll see invites from friends for supported games. Finally, the new patch fixes what sounds like a very serious issue. Apparently, there was a bug that completely prevented Fire Emblem Three Houses from booting at all, instead returning an error. This problem has been fixed with the update through general system and stability improvements, Nintendo said.
Boards00 in the chat says, don't forget to update your controllers. That's always a thing.
Is it really? On the
Yeah.
Switch even?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
Even your not Pro Controller, right? I've never seen
Joy-Cons, especially, yeah.
I've never seen, and I'm not saying that he's wrong. Xbox, I've always seen it of like, oh, time to update your controller. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. Switch, I've never noticed it before.
I've seen
But my Switch is always like connected to the internet.
I've seen Per Snyder connect like his 70 different pairs of fucking.
Yeah, see, I only use the one set of Joy-Cons really, so that's why.
Yeah.
Stupid pair, a million things. You know what I mean? It's also got a giant dog. If you're not following Pear on Instagram, he's got a giant ass dog. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I have
What did you think?
I heard dong.
You heard dong,
okay.
Ding Dong
I
XL.
heard dong.
Pear
and I'm
Schneider
like-
got that Ding Dong XL.
I was just like, what, Greg?
Oh, yeah, he's got a weird like alien dog from like outer space.
I love
Oh
it.
my
What a
god,
fucking show.
that is something. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know,
something
the
we need to
cool
comment on. I
stability
tossed in there. I
things.
also don't understand the release on September 9th. Sorry if that got covered maybe in an Andrew episode. I just
don't
missed
think
it.
it did.
Okay, good. Well, I wanted to detail it out there. And Eddie's
Yeah.
always giving me the details.
Yeah, the Switch updates. I kind of wish that. I wish that numbered updates for consoles meant more. Than like back in the day, I feel like they used to.
Yeah.
Like, when you would talk about it.
PlayStation still does that.
Yeah.
When you get to a 5.0, a 4.0, like that's a big
We're at
deal. Something's
9.0
happening.
on Switch right now, and like we're still limited to 2 themes. Like things like that are just weird.
Give me a theme. I want a Zelda theme. It'd be so cool.
It's little things, but it's been years.
I'd love to I love my Switch, obviously. I would love them to totally redo the interface of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's
I don't
wrong
like
with
this
the
ding
interface?
ding. I wish I could make folders. I wish I could do different stuff. I wish I could keep it in it. When I'm in the mood to play something, and I'm like all the way over. I'm like, fuck all software.
Yeah.
Do that thing. I feel like I'd rather. I like the way I keep my PS4, where everything goes in a folder. So I just have like 3 or 4 icons on the front.
I have a couple things I want to talk about here, Greg.
Okay,
This
sure.
is a good point in the show to do it.
What Pear Schneider story do you have?
I saw, like, I have contrary information. So I saw a tweet go out of somebody that was like, what is it about the Switch's sound effect that is so pleasing?
Well, it's because it happens in the directs when they click or whatever, right? When they snap, but they
Yeah.
also do it. But then it does do when you pop the Joy-Cons on.
No, but I'm talking about like when the Switch logo. When you see the
Oh,
Switch,
yeah,
and they're just like, what is it like scientifically that like, how did they design that sound and achieve such a intense kind of
Feeling?
connection feeling where it's like you hear that, it's just like it feels right,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then just going into it. But that got me thinking. I didn't. There was no answer. It was just somebody posing
it's
a question.
Market groups and testing and research,
Yeah.
and then I think the reason it's working is because hey, we're also excited about it. So you do hear it, you do see it, you do play it.
associated with good stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about that a bit, and I was just like, it's really obviously much thoughts put into this,
course.
and there's many teams and groups trying to figure out like the right calls and what just feels wrong to people. But the PS4 and Switch have such good sound effects, and the Xbox as well. I feel like the Xbox is probably my least favorite of it, but it does have that satisfying kind of.
Yeah.
I'd also
you're
make an
tabbing
argument
through
for
stuff.
the Wii U.
We're talking about current stuff, not fucking huge failures that almost ruined a company, Barrett.
Okay.
God. No one even knows what the Wii U
I'm not-
sounded like
I'm
when you
not-
turned it on. Nobody ever turned it on.
The face Tim's giving me though, I'm not.
Of
wrong.
course
He's not
Tim's
wrong.
on.
He's
Of
not
course
wrong.
Tim's on your side about a Nintendo
but
thing.
the thing about the Switch though is when you're blading through just the homepage and the
It makes all the little clicks.
it's like it's the tones that go up or down.
Yeah.
It feels so right, you know.
Well,
It feels fun.
This thing the Switch nails, right, in terms of user interface, even though I'm saying I could go for a little bit of redesign, but we won't get it because I think it's what it nails, is simplicity. Where it is, you're in, and then there are all your games. And then
It's simplicity, and it's
simple.
also what I think the Switch really succeeds at, and I think the developers over the last year have really been like honing in on the fact that people care about this, and like Reset Era will fucking lose its shit if you have a bad one, is the cover art for the games. The square cover art.
I know
having
that
the big
well.
logo with the thing. It's like it's beautiful to look at when you have all your games next to each other in a way that on some of the other consoles it's not necessarily as pretty to look at.
Because you dump it all in a folder and you don't see it, right?
Yeah, but jumping over to PlayStation though, it's like I feel like PlayStation's sound design for its menus. There's the soothing shit in the background, but like the clicking over between different tabs, between different things, it feels like where Nintendo feels fun. I feel like the PlayStation really nails like feeling like you're using cool tech.
Sure,
You know?
I understand.
And
that.
it feels like what the PlayStation is.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree with that in the way that I think. I remember turning on the PS4 for the first time and fucking around with it and doing all that stuff, and it felt like you were turning on a next gen console. And that sounds weird, but it
still feels that way though. Like it's rad. Like it feels HD.
Well, it's because there's no printer settings. You don't have to worry about your fucking cross media bar on PS3 getting that.
That's
Greg, I got a question for you.
Yes, Barrett Courtney.
Because we're talking about all this like UI for these consoles and whatnot. Have you noticed recently when you go into the media like app, right? And it brings up like Netflix and all that stuff. When you go specifically into the media app on PS4, does the entire like console slow down for you?
Of course, yeah.
Really?
The media app is one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
It used to not just be one app.
I used to have all my little apps just there, right? And so I could go in. I didn't have to go into an app to then choose the next app I want to use.
Yeah.
But now I don't even do it because Tim told me to get this TV, and then he said, "Don't use your PlayStation 4 stuff anymore. These are designed for the PlayStation for your TV."
Huh.
So now I watch my Netflix and Amazon with the Amazon button and the Netflix button.
Damn.
Boom.
Came home yesterday. Jen was watching it on PS4, and I didn't even bother. You know, it's like she doesn't want to follow the light. She wants to watch Mindhunter on PS4, whatever. Have it,
whatever you want,
but it's whatever. And then the other annoying thing is, all right. So I got this roommate, right, Lucy James, deadbeat. She bought these Hue lights, right, that she can change and do whatever she wants to.
So cool.
But then she took over one of the Ethernet ports off the stupid Comcast modem. So now I'm down to one Ethernet drop on the PS4. So in the TV, I want to have an Ethernet, but I don't know how to do that. Why?
You got it.
But then it's like, do I have to go buy a new modem and will I get the same speeds? Because that was Comcast's big fucking argument when I came in. I was like, I'm not getting the speeds I want. You're not using the right modem. Here's this stupid log. I got this damn log that's only got 2 fucking ports on. Here comes Kevin Quello. Can we have the shock mic turned up, please? Kevin Quello, as we like to call him, big tech dog coming in.
I heard you talking about some Ethernet issues. Just get an Ethernet switch. They're like $25.
Is that like a splitter?
Yeah. So you plug in one Ethernet line. So the one that you have right now, you plug it in directly into the little switch, and then you can have up to 4 outs.
And I don't lose any quality? I lose some quality?
No.
Can you order me one?
Sure.
Thank you. You're just walking around getting your show ready. You got time.
Yeah, sure.
I love you, Kev. Thank you. Number 3 on the Roper Report. Monster Hunter World Iceborne ships 2.4 million units globally. And then it's that's weird. Because I took this from a press release, right? But then the headline immediately contradicts the content. So let's see what goes on. Capcom today announced that Monster Hunter World Iceborne, the massive expansion for Monster Hunter World on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, has shipped over 2.5 million units worldwide. The Xbox One version is available in North America and Europe only. PC version is scheduled for release in January 2020. That includes Monster Hunter World Iceborne digital sales and Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition physical shipments and digital sales. The Monster Hunter series consists of hunting action games that pits players against giant monsters in a beautiful natural environment. The series has sparked a social phenomenon known as the Monster Hunter craze.
Yeah.
By introducing a new kind of communication style for players throughout cooperative play, focused on hunting monsters with their friends. The series has grown into a mega hit with Monster Hunter World, which released in January 2018, achieving 13.1 million units shipped. The first title in Capcom's history to achieve this record high, and cumulative sales of the series exceeding 58 million units as of September 13th, 2019. So, a big congratulations to Monster Hunter and Capcom.
Dude, this is insane.
Yeah, that's
2.5 million for an expansion for a game that already sold over 13 million.
Yeah. And I don't want, and I'm not
in 1 week. And it's shipped. It's not sold, but that doesn't matter.
I hate that kind of crap. They're not shipping stuff they're not going to sell.
I mean, they are. They do.
Not that many. Is it what? Maybe a 0.4?
I mean, but that's the thing is like, absolutely, that could have been a thing. They should not have done that. It's only been a week. We'll see. We can check in.
It's not like this isn't ET. Everybody, they're not going to be a fucking graveyard full of Iceborne expansion
they're
codes.
100% in 3 weeks could be a thing of like, wow,
Capcom out of business. They only sold. They sold 0.3.
Yeah, but like I expect they're going to sell it. Like they have smart people that are making the choices here. But that's really crazy for an expansion that's coming out significantly later than the game originally launched.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, what, more than a year later? And I think what's interesting about it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the canary in the coal mine, the bellwether, whatever you want to say, my glancing at Twitter, I don't see the peers and people and friends that I follow talking about this game.
Yeah.
So I think it really is another one of those games that goes to show you how dedicated the Monster Hunter audience is and how they continue to be an audience and a community that will support this game and do it in their own ways. And it's similar to how I always talk about like what Rooster Teeth is, right? Where if you don't know Rooster Teeth, then you move a rock and you find out how big they are. Like, holy shit, like Monster Hunter seems to be in that same thing. What are you looking at? You're clicking. A lot of clicks are happening. A lot of clicks are happening.
Probably going to have to be you're wronged on this.
Oh, here we go, everybody. Get ready.
Because I was about to say that what's interesting is the word shipped here. So it's like, okay, cool, 2.5 million shipped. So does that not count digital sales?
No, this counted digital.
For the shipped?
Well, I think that would count sales. That would count sold through, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we arguing about?
So what I'm thinking is like that 2.5, does that include digital?
Yeah, it does. I'm opening the actual press release here so that I can make sure I get it.
And then jumping back to the other one, so over 13 million sold for the core game. Does that include digital? Because that also uses the word shipped.
Well, yeah, but I think it's just the easiest way to summarize, right? Because like they go out of their way to put the
it sounds like sold would
asterisks.
Be a bit clearer.
But then you have to. Then it gets confusing because now what I'm going to say, Monster Hunter World has shipped 1.5 million and sold an additional 2. They just want the numbers shoved together. And I think again, it's like
if you have to choose one of those words, what makes more sense?
Well, only one's true. Only the ship number is true. I can't say like so right now this is 2.5 shipped. I can't say this is 2.5 sold because only the digital ones are sold. You understand? One is true and the other isn't.
I don't get it.
So think of it like this: the umbrella of shipped also covers what was sold digitally. However, if we go to the umbrella of sold, we couldn't put the ones that have just been shipped underneath it. It would have to be over here.
I mean, whatever. It's all semantics here, but like the digital ones aren't shipped; they're sold.
Right.
So that doesn't fit under that.
Well, no,
they equally don't work.
No, I don't agree.
Sold
you can't ship digital.
Sold can be under shipped. Shipped can't be under sold.
I understand that. But digital isn't shipped at all.
I mean, it's technically.
Technically, it gets shipped across your internet. Go boom.
Fucking got you, Tim.
You know what I mean? Fucking nailed you.
All right.
Yeah. So hold on now. Xbox One version, North America and Europe, PC version scheduled for 2020. And then hold on, the 3 here. It has shipped over 2.5 million units worldwide. Then the footnote on that says includes Monster Hunter World Iceborne digital sales and Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition physical shipments and digital sales. So yeah, it's just these physical shipments for the Master Edition that are throwing this off in terms of having to put it that way. I understand you came around to exactly where I was, that 2.5, they're probably going to sell them all. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm not. See, this goes back to my original argument
now on my side.
Like,
well, now you want to put them in there. You want to put them in there.
I feel like there needs to be two separate numbers that you could add together like an adult.
No, nobody wants to do that shit. No, they just want to read the headlines. Yeah, exactly. What a fucked up headline that's going to be. Monster Hunter World Iceborne ships 1.5 Master Editions and sells through 2.5. Oh, are you still reading? No? Oh, you crashed your car, huh? Sorry, it's me, Matt Kim at IGN.
Fake news. It's fake news.
No, it's not.
They didn't ship it.
They definitely shipped it. That is shipped. That is gone. Those are
they
gone.
They shipped 2.5 million. Then what about the digital?
They got shipped to fucking PlayStations.
All right.
God damn it. Number 4, NPD. And NPD numbers are out for August, and U.S. game sales have dropped 18% for the month. This is Brendan Sinclair at GamesIndustry.biz. Gaming's difficult 2019 drags on. The NPD group has released its monthly U.S. sales report for August, showing that U.S. hardware, software, and accessory sales were down 18% year over year to 666 million. Wow. Mock of the million devil. The NPD group figures include U.S. physical sales as well as digital sales from a subset of publishers, not all. Year to date, the NPD figures put U.S. spending on games down 6% from last year to $7 billion as of the end of August. Software sales have been slightly up over that stretch, but not enough to offset significant declines in hardware sales. Software sales have been less consistently depressing this year, but August was a down month. The NPD reported August dollar sales of tracked games fell 22% to $257 million. It was the lowest total for August software sales since 1998, when the month's U.S. game sales tallied $234 million. Year to date, U.S. software sales are up 1% to $3.1 billion, with NPD analyst Matt Piscatella crediting Switch games for the growth. Madden NFL 20 topped the sales charts for the second month, maintaining momentum from its earlier than usual July kickoff. Minecraft came in second, which is, perhaps surprisingly, the game's highest placement ever on the NPD charts. Astral Chain was the best performing new release, just cracking the top 10 list, which reads like this. And again, whole bunch of caveats right now. I'd open this over here because I didn't copy over the caveats of what is, so like PC sales aren't included on some of these. Minecraft digital sales on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One included. And then it's, you know how this is. I'm just going to read the games. You can fill it in if we have to talk about it. Number 1, Madden NFL 20. Number 2, Minecraft. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, of course. Number 4, Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Let's
digital sales not
baby.
included. Smash Brothers at number 5, not included. Digital. Number 6, Mario Maker 2. Digital sales not included. Number 7, Mario Kart 8. Digital sales not included. Number 8, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 9, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And number 10, Astral Chain digital sales not included.
Question from the Peanut Gallery.
I have a question.
Why the fuck doesn't Nintendo include their digital sales? Because I feel like that would just make it even better for them.
Because I feel like they don't necessarily care about this NPD stuff. It's just more like they have their investor meetings where they do release those numbers, and like they're always astronomical at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like I feel like they care about the investors more than
I'm just saying,
this stuff,
it'd be really impressive because I imagine if you included the digital sales for Fire Emblem 3 Houses, that would have gone up like 1 or 2 spots, you know?
Oh yeah.
Astral Chain, I think, too. If Astral Chain can crack the top 10, like just on physical, I'd be really interested.
And like older games like Mario Kart 8, like not a lot of people are buying that like physical. You got to imagine more of the percentage is digital.
It's the normal thing of, I don't know how much NPD matters anymore. Right. You know what I mean? Like that's the long thing. And I love the data. I love seeing it. I love having these conversations every month. But it is that thing to Nintendo. What do they fucking care? Like this is like such a in the old days, right? It was the only way to figure this out and see how you stacked and when and like now with digital this and like how you're selling
this
stuff.
This is included, but that is, and this isn't, whatever. It's just like, okay, cool. So this is kind of just a list of games.
It's just a way to get a glance
which
at what's,
is, like you said, very cool information and interesting for sure. Like I feel like you get to glean in interesting things that you wouldn't have necessarily known otherwise, but it's not like the end all be all. Astral Chain making the top 10, that's interesting. Like I feel like that's the news story here. Yeah. Right. Yeah. On top of that, though, Mortal Kombat 11 still being in there. I think that's pretty impressive as well. Some of the other things are a little bit more like, okay, well, duh. Madden's gonna be there. And number 1, though, it's like, okay, cool. Madden's continuing to have the success that it always has. It's just as relevant as it used to be.
Well, I don't want to go that far, but yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's still succeeding. I think it's a quiet summer for the most part. And we're just starting to heat up to the fall. However, Riot Goes Woof wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, hello, Greg and Tim. According to this article I saw today on GameSpot, video game sales were down at a very low point in August, the lowest seen in quite a while. Do you think this is a result of September having so many heavy hitters and people saving money for that? People putting more money towards microtransactions /IAP as opposed to new games? Or is this a statistic to be worried about when it comes to the state of gaming today? Thanks for all you do, Riot. Personally, I don't find it concerning at all. I think it's just the trends of video games, right? Hardware sales are down. Of course they are. Everybody's talking about Xbox 2 and what's going to happen with PlayStation 5. Like, we know those are on the horizon. It's the same thing we talked about on Andrea's episode on Wednesday, right? Of GameStop being like, hey, we're closing these stores this year and we're taking it on the chin right now because everyone's talking about the next generation, so no one's buying the current generation hardware. Not nobody, but you know what I mean. Not droves that you usually see. And you will see again as the life cycle even continues to go down and prices drop.
I mean, but even then, though, it's down year over year. But it's not down compared to other generations.
No, it's the lowest it's ever been since 1998, Tim. For the lowest. Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I just feel like when you start trying to contextualize all this, especially with the fact that, hey, it's the lowest it's been since 1998. That's game sales, right?
That's game sales, right?
Again,
just game sales.
Guess what? There wasn't a digital marketplace in 1998. Yeah. Like, I bet I don't think you can look at games right now as a business and be like, man, the other shoe's about to drop. Like, no, people are spending more money than ever on games, and it's all over the place. They're just doing it in different ways, which you're pointing out, Riot Goes Woof, with microtransactions, people being invested in games longer. You know, the way Fortnite and Minecraft and all these games eat up your time, let alone your money on what they want to sell to you. And again, where I think Barrett, correct me if I'm wrong, you tweeted recently about like, in a year where games haven't really spoken to me, was it Borderlands or what else?
It was Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance, right? Like, I feel like I'm in a similar boat with you, where I played a lot of stuff, but like when I start getting on to Game of the Year, it's like pretty easy for me to get down to a top 5 right now.
I mean, I feel like the beginning of the year was stacked, and then as you went on, it was kind of like the middle's been a little like, all right, like there are games that everyone's loving, but it gets a bit more niche.
Right. But this is right now we're in September, and we've got Ultimate Alliance 3 like a month ago, but then like now we have Borderlands and next week's Link's Awakening and all this stuff. Like
that was the thing.
This is the first part of this year where I'm like, oh shit, like I'm actually paying attention to games now.
100%. We're to the point now. There's always been stuff coming out every week that I want to play. Right. Now we're on the point where you're at the holiday roller coaster, where I feel like the bar is down, and we are definitely already probably on the top and about to come down the next loop, right? Yeah. With Borderlands and with Call of Duty stuff happening, and you know, like there's the
Star Wars, Death Stranding.
God, I keep forgetting about Star Wars. I keep forgetting about Death Stranding. Those feel like so far away, and they're so close. Like, you're definitely strapped in, and I think that's one of the reasons spending's down as well. Is like, the AAA crazy games people really want are on the horizon, but not here. So why would they go out and buy X, Y, and Z?
And I mean, looking at the NPD numbers here, it's like it's pretty clear what console people are buying and what games people are playing, and it's Switch titles. Yeah. Because Nintendo had a summer plan of Mario Maker 2, Astral Chain, Ultimate Alliance, Fire Emblem. It's just like none of those titles are, you know, going to be Mario Kart 8 or Smash Brothers, but they're going to just kind of be a consistent summer. Hot Boy Summer, Nintendo Summer, baby.
Hot Boy Summer, Nintendo Summer. Tim, I'm excited to keep reading the show and doing the show with you, right? One of the reasons I'm excited is because yesterday we did a topic or a question about like, hey, do you feel like the questions are stagnant or whatever? And I was like, no, I actually think the questions are great. So many new faces have popped up. So many new names have popped up today. Like, it was overflowing with great questions today. Great job.
There was a Reddit thread. Did you see this? Are you going to talk about this?
I am going to talk about it. Yeah. If you want to, we can jump to it. Katie wrote in with a question we'll get to later, but at the end she goes, if this question gets read, then shout out to Borzen00 for his Reddit post about how to write a good question. Yeah. A lot of people listen to Borzen. And then a lot of people listened yesterday, and here they are, a whole bunch of different questions. Fantastic. I'm excited for all these questions, but we still have so long till we get to them. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the Mom and Grop shops, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Borderlands 3 is finally out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We're streaming this afternoon. Stay tuned. It's talked about on the Gamescast. Of course, take it all with a grain of salt. We're doing a Borderlands show with 2K. Light Fairy Tale Episode 1 is on Xbox One. NASCAR Heat is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. NHL 20 is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I'm excited based on this title, but it can't be what I think it is. Ellen is out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. If this is a game where I host the Ellen DeGeneres show, I'm fucking in. If it's a game where I follow Ellen around and do her groceries, I'm in.
It's not.
God damn it.
What is it?
It's like a pixel art.
Boo! This doesn't look like it. This doesn't look. I want to be married. I want to be married to Portia Del Rossi. Boo! Boo!
Maybe this is her life. Maybe this is like how she.
She doesn't live in a house like that. Ellen would have more color. Don't even fucking come in here and insult Ellen's name.
Maybe this is her origin story, though.
Damon, is it Ex Machina or Cross Machina?
Stop. We're not getting into this again, Greg.
Sky is out on Switch today. Star Wars Pinball is on Switch. Distraint? Yeah, Deluxe Edition is on Switch. Atomic Heist is on Switch. Chop is on Switch. Then a whole bunch of things start doubling up. That's weird. Come on.
Yeah.
I steal from you for a reason, Kotaku. I don't need this. Rest in Peace is on Switch. Groupia is on PC. Cub is on PC. And then the Days Gone New Game Plus mode is out and includes dope-ass Horizon, Concrete Genie, and Siphon Filter skins for your bike. Watched the trailer today. Yeah, I was like, damn. And again, shout out to them for supporting that game the way they have. Like, you know, I said at review, like, it wasn't for me kind of thing, and I know a lot of people love it. The fact that they're still doing so much for that, I think, is really, really cool. However, let's get into some questions. That's right, Tim. People wrote in with questions about dates. Katie writes in and says, hi, Greg and Tim. With Borderlands 3 out today, I was wondering, is this the biggest release of the year so far?
Ooh, good. See, there you go. That is
good
a
job,
good
Katie,
question.
making it pertinent, putting it around the news. I like that.
I'm gonna say no.
I feel like the context of the question, the biggest release so far, needs to either be the most AAA of AAA titles that's exclusive to a console, like a Halo, right?
Okay.
Or it needs to be multi-platform where it's just like, hey, this game is everywhere and you can't get away from it. And with that,
it falls in the number 2 category, right?
It does, and I feel like it's definitely in the conversation, and I can't immediately think of anything from the big 3 that can rival
Gears
it.
5.
No,
I'm not even. I'm throwing out my off the top of my head. I would say Gears 5. Resident Evil 2.
Nintendo didn't have something this year so far, and like I don't think
Mario Maker, but yeah, I agree. I agree. It didn't penetrate the way this is penetrating.
Yeah.
Barry, you got anything? What are you thinking?
I need to bring something up, but like, I was thinking in the context of like what we think like sales and like how like what the reach is going to be for this, and like I just think like any sports game out this year, like MLB The Show and like Madden and shit, like.
But those aren't bigger though. They might sell more, but they're not like in. I feel like big is sales, conversation.
That's fair.
Like, you know what I mean? Like like the zeitgeist of gaming as a whole.
Let me bring up a list here.
Streaming these days, I'd even add into that.
So here we go. So here's from NPD.com, the top 10 selling video games, retail and digital, year to date, ending August 2019. All right. Number 1, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 2, Kingdom Hearts 3. Sorry, there's some stuff covering it. It's that like, you know, hey, go to Twitter or whatever. Yeah, it's still fucked up. Number 3, Madden. Number 4, The Division. Number 5, Anthem. Number 6, Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 7, Resident Evil 2019. Number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5.
What a weird way to name that.
Well, they called it Resident Evil 2 2019. Okay. I just fucked it up. Sorry, my apologies. Number 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 10, Days Gone.
I would argue Apex Legends. I know, like, that wasn't really like a thing people are getting hyped for before the fact because it was more of a shadow release. But the impact of what, like, Apex Legends had in streaming culture and battle royale and stuff like that. Like, I think that was
week, though. That's my problem. Like, we need to see how long the tail is for Borderlands. But I feel like if Borderlands 3's hype lasts longer than a month, which I expect it's going to, I would say it beats Apex.
I don't agree with that.
Because Apex is free as well.
I still feel in the like, there's so many ways to slice the question and jump into it, right? Is it the biggest release of the year so far? In terms of hype, advertising, the fact you can't get away. Like I saw, I granted, like I'm into the game, so like, that's the thing too. Like somebody already in You're Wrong, I saw was like, well, Kingdom Hearts 3 had a huge campaign. I'm like, Kingdom Hearts 3 was easy to ignore if you don't care about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, but like Kingdom Hearts 3 is an example of category 1, I would say, for me, even though it's not first party exclusive, where it's like it transcends. Even though a lot of people aren't going to care, the people that care there's so many of them, and as you can see, it's the number 2 highest selling game. Like it is huge. Yeah. Where I would argue Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely one of the biggest releases of the year. It's in the conversation. Yeah. But I just think that Borderlands is just a bit more people.
Where I was driving at is like it's more people are hyped less.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Rather than a small group be super hyped, we have a larger group that's more of a medium level.
And even then, I wouldn't say it's small group. It's a very large group that is very hyped compared to
vocal.
An extremely large group.
Okay.
That is hype.
Fair. I'm not gonna. Yeah. I think it's definitely in the conversation and up there because I think it's you can't right now. And granted, it's right now, but even for last week, I feel like you just can't get away from it. Especially like everybody
can.
Like even Bruce was streaming it yesterday. Yeah, but I mean, like you see
but it's still
right?
there. Yeah, but so is any new release. Like I don't think that Borderlands right now is any different than the big releases when they're coming out in terms of what's around me. But I do think that it's going to last longer, which is why I would put my money on Borderlands for at least the foreseeable future. Like I can't even think of.
I think Call of Duty could be bigger. Because I think Call of Duty is going to get people in with a different kind of campaign. I'm excited for Call of Duty. Yeah. I'm excited for the weird campaign, more excited for the 2v2 mode. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of discussion, a lot of conversation. How hard are they going to go? Star Wars could be huge too, depending on how they do that. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
But you're right that it's like, this is a different thing. And it's also been 7 years in the pipe, right? If people want it, or 5 years. No, it's 7 years.
I often
bring
my friend Curran up as a example of an outsider that likes
or
games.
Or as I call him, Big Cur Dog.
Big Cur Dog, yeah. And I will say, the two games that I didn't really expect him to ask me about this year were Borderlands 3 and Apex Legends.
Ooh.
So
I'm just saying, I think you guys are underestimating the impact of Apex Legends this year.
I don't know. I feel like
but I think it's just because I don't think you are. I think it's just because you're still like you just said with Borderlands, like you were able to avoid Borderlands even though
when Apex hit, it was the same thing. It was everywhere. Yeah, everybody was playing it. Everybody was talking about it.
And like even though it someone in the chat said yeah, it was Fortnite levels the first week, and even though it hasn't been Fortnite fucking crazy level when Fortnite was at its peak the first week, it's still been so big since then. So
yeah. I'd be interested to see where, like, when you're looking at money and stuff, if you were to take Apex and put it on that list, where it would land. Sure. Yeah. And I don't think it would land that high. They're making a lot of money. It's a free-to-play game, but they're missing out on so much from hardware sales or software sales and all that stuff. Where it's like,
but again, it's not but it's not just about the money.
But I feel like biggest it encapsulates everything. You know what I mean?
That's
so
fair.
I feel like that's one element.
This conversation's gone on too long. It's a nebulous conversation. We can't do. The final thing I'll put a pin in is that I found very interesting. My cousin commented on my Instagram post of my Borderlands character, and she said, "My students won't stop talking about this game. It's driving me crazy." And I thought that was weird. It's like, oh man, that's cool that kids in school, because I think she's like junior high are talking about Borderlands. Huh. I digress. Robert had a question related to release dates as well. He wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, "Hey Greg and Tim, I'm worried that Daemon X Machina is going to get buried by all the releases in September, coming out around Astral Chain, Link's Awakening, Dragon Quest XI-S, and comes out the same day as Borderlands 3, to name a few. The supposed copyright strikes against Daemon X Machina videos isn't helping. Daemon Cross Machina, or will it be the next Space Rocks?" I feel like a word's missing there, but is it gonna? Yeah. What's gonna happen with this game?
I mean, it's going to get buried, but I think that it would have had to be something extremely special for it not to get buried, and I think that it messed that chance up.
It doesn't seem like it is, right?
Yeah, and I get from the reviews and from what I played, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to cross over to the mainstream.
Yeah.
But I think that the people that already like this type of game are going to love it, and the reviews kind of show that, like, oh, they're not going to love it, they're going to like it. Right? There's going to be the people that die hard.
It's a good, not great game. I haven't seen the reviews. I haven't read anything about it yet.
That's kind of what it seems like. Okay. And on top of that, it's like, there's a ton of games around it. There's a ton of like it coming out so close to Astral Chain specifically. I feel hurts it because those are two games that are similar a little bit outside of Nintendo's traditional wheelhouse of what they're gonna promote on the eShop hard and like just in their direction and everything. And at the end of the day, I think Astral Chain's easier to get across.
Sure.
And from what the reviews say is better, and from my experience is better. So I think that's against it. But then also this copyright stuff. It's like Nintendo's not doing the game any favors. No. Where I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah, I saw Andre tweeting about it, right? That his videos all got claimed.
Yep. So it's like,
or not even claimed, games blocked.
They're getting blocked. They're getting claimed. It's just changed depending on what country you're in. A lot of stuff, but.
Yeah, that's not good.
This is the type, like, we're at a place where that is promotion for this game. Like, it's built in, and you need that for something so niche.
Yeah.
So.
Deals of the day for you. A Plague Tale Innocence has a free trial available today on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This allows any player to experience the first full chapter of Hugo and Amicia's story, giving you just a glimpse of the riveting, chaotic, and highly rated tale. Never played it, want to. It's one of the games that's still on my cross-media bar, but too much stuff happened this year. Too much. We've already done a lot of it, but let's get into Reader Mail. It's time for Reader Mail, and you can write into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, where you can get the show ad-free. And speaking of ads, this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily is brought to you by Manscaped. Support for Games Daily comes from Manscaped, who is the #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Tim, you've nicked yourself a lot. We've talked about this way too much.
Been nicked too many nights.
That Manscaped is here to make sure that never happens again.
I'm very excited
because they redesigned the electric trimmer. Their Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. And don't use the same trimmer you use on your face as you use down there. That's gross.
That's nasty.
Manscaped also has the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GAMES at manscaped.com. Always use the right tools for the job. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GAMES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code GAMES. Up next is Hims. Nick and Andy noticed their hair was thinning, and they decided to do something about it. They went went to forhims.com, a wellness brand for men that helps you deal with the awkward problems without having to go get an appointment and see a person. Forhims.com. A one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims is helping guys be their best versions of themselves with licensed physicians and FDA-approved products to help treat hair loss. These are prescription solutions backed by science. Hims was created by a guy who knows there are some men's health conversations that are easier online than in person. There's no more awkward in-person doctor visits or long pharmacy lines. 4Hims connects you with real doctors online, which could save you hours. Answer a few quick questions, a doctor will review, and if they determine it's right for you, they can prescribe you medication to treat hair loss that's shipped directly to your door. My listeners can get started with the Hims Complete Hair Kit for just $5 today, right now while supplies last and subject to a doctor's approval. See the website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy or someplace else. Go to forhims.com/gamesdaily. That's FORHIMS.com/gamesdaily. Forhims.com/gamesdaily. Final sponsor of the day is Quip. The best way to ease back into your post-summer routine, start it before September ends. Simplify the morning and evening now with a simpler electric toothbrush from Quip. Nearly everyone at Kinda Funny is using the Quip electric toothbrush. We put the little handle on it, you slide it over, you travel with it. It's great. It comes with
sleek and sexy.
There's no. You got a black one, right? Your eyes all black.
Jet black on black.
That's nice. That's nice. There's no clunky charger.
Has the metallic pink one.
Yeah, the gold, rose gold, right? Or is it pink? I thought she had the rose gold one.
Metallic pink. I don't know.
Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. I got a blue one. I like it. Kinda Funny blue. It's blue and white. Quip's got sensitive sonic vibrations for an effective clean that's gentle on your sensitive gums. It's a 2-minute pulser. Every 30 seconds, it reminds you when you switch sides to get an even clean. Plus, there's no clunky chargers. We said it runs for 3 months on a single charge. Brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. A friendly reminder of when it's time to refresh and stay committed to your oral health. Those are just some of the reasons we love Quip. You should get into the routine with them. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/games right now, you can get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/games. It's Greg and he's looking for this. I thought I was going to start somewhere else, and I will, and then I'll come back to that. Clint writes in.
Yeah.
To patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. With Final Fantasy VII Remake looming, I'm curious what your thoughts are in regards to Final Fantasy XVI. If Remake is going to be at least 2 games, and probably 3, do you think that there's a chance of Final Fantasy XVI being out in the next 5 years? They won't need it, and I think there could even be backlash against a Final Fantasy XVI announcement coming out anywhere before Remake is done. Unless they go retro and release 16 in the style of Octopath Traveler, parentheses, which I am absolutely down for, end parentheses. It seems crazy unlikely that they could do another AAA Final Fantasy game anytime soon.
100%. We'll see Final Fantasy 16 in the next 5 years.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like released or just announced?
Released.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're working on it. They have to be. They must have been working on it for a long time. And I think that they've just learned not to announce things too early. You got to hope. There's a lot of hope going into those statements. But just seeing where their teams are at and like with the structure of how things are going, Kingdom Hearts 3 was being worked on forever. Final Fantasy VII Remake, a lot of the same team being working on both of those things. The Final Fantasy teams are different for the most part. The core title games. And there's the whole, what is it, Luminous Studio? That
I remember this announcement.
Kind of was the spin-off of people, the director and his guys that left after 15. They're doing whatever the hell they're doing. And they're not Square anymore. But whatever team was destined to work on 16, I'm sure has been working on 16. And I think it's going to be announced probably in the next 2 years, and then within 2 years after that be out.
Okay. Interesting. Interested to see that happen, Tim.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm very interested in how they market this.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. Like, when are they going to slip in the part 1?
Yeah.
Because like all the logos, everything right now is very much just
Final Fantasy 13 didn't have that, right? Remake. It was just Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy 13 was a complete game. Like, that was, there was no plan to,
but
like,
those
were sequels.
Do you think they need to drive that home for Final Fantasy VII in the title? Don't you think people who would be buying it, knowing it, and if you're brand new, you don't know? It gets to a natural ending point, and it's not like, oh, what the fuck?
There is no way it can have a natural ending.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing with the story of the game.
As someone who doesn't know,
it's just like, there can be an ending that's fine, but, like, it's definitely not going to feel good.
Huh.
Like, it's not going to feel like a complete experience. Like, there's just no way.
I mean, they could update the story a little bit for certain aspects to, end somewhere in the middle that leaves it off of like a cliffhanger that might not be satisfying in like a whole story, like wrapping up like an arc here, but it'll be like, oh shit, like this is how it's like, I need to know like what's happening next and shit like that.
I mean,
feel
it's
like
pretty clear that that's where that is and what's going to happen, because it is very exciting to like go next, but it's like that's still not a complete game. Like that's not a complete story.
No, that's fair.
It's kind of just act one. You know what I mean? And like video games just don't work that way. They're not movies. Yeah. You know, it's like the next one's not going to come out for years after that. Like, think of how people felt about Halo 2's ending with the cliffhanger. It's like,
which I didn't know about. I didn't know
like
people,
the game didn't end.
Yeah, I didn't know people hated that.
Yeah,
I was just in my little Ohio bubble, just playing Halo 2 and being like, that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Remember Prince of Persia?
No.
Come on. The remake.
Oh,
the DLC ending? What the fuck are you thinking of?
Not remake, the just
Prince of Persia.
Reboot.
Okay, reboot. Yeah, fair.
Reboot.
You're right. That's actually correct. Yeah, I was using that incorrectly. Capitalist Pig says Luminous Productions. Luminous Productions was the name of the studio that is still owned by Square Enix. That Tabata left in late 2018. Tabata made his own studio called JP Games Incorporated. Frankfurtter writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Says, good morning, Greg and Tim. Another day has passed and another indie studio is outed for unethical and horrible behavior. I understand that it needs to be reported for the obvious fact that the more it is, the more likely it'll end in terms of reporting. Of course, this is piggybacking off of yesterday's required reading Jason Schreier's report over there about a whole bunch of horrible stuff that was said and done at the Nicalis, right? Nicalis, I can't pronounce it. I never heard that publisher's name pronounced, so we're just shooting blind because everybody writes stuff. Anyways, back to Frankfurt. However, when will it end? However, when will it end? It seems like a lot of these people who are at the top and are creating all of these controversies are stuck in the early days of bro games and can't get out. Other than telling them, hey, that's not cool, or grow the fuck up, what advice can we give potential other offenders so that we can make these issues go away? On the other hand, what advice can we give the people at these companies who are being harassed to make their quality of life better? Tim, how do we solve this problem?
I think a lot of this is, being kind of seen in the stand-up comedy scene a lot, where there's people, especially with the Louis C.K. stuff that went down, and then people's reaction to all that, Aziz Ansari getting brought into it, and we're now kind of seeing a lot of stand-up comics react one way or another. There's always going to be the two sides, one side that's just straight up saying this is wrong, and the other side kind of making light of it to try to have some type of commentary. And I feel in the last couple of weeks specifically, or let's say like last 3 months, Aziz comes back with his special that directly addresses a lot of this stuff. Chappelle comes with his recently, and then Bill Burr came in the last week and gave his take on a lot of this stuff. And when you look at all those as a whole, I think that they do paint a very interesting picture of how this is being handled and the effects that talking about these things are having.
Yeah.
It is solving things. It's going to take a long time, and like there's not necessarily going to be an end anytime soon. But when you look at those, I would call them a trilogy of kind of takes on the same concept. Aziz comes out as somebody that got Me Too'd. He got canceled. It was all these things, right? And he straight up came out, and I would argue, and I think many people would argue, that out of all the people in that initial the initial stories and the storm that came out of the Me Too stuff, he was what people would say was the smallest offender. It's like he didn't do anything that's like overtly horrible. It's like, oh, that sounds like a bad date. But even he comes out on his special, opens it up, and he's like, hey, when I first heard this, I was like, that's insane. You're being crazy. But then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, systemically, there's problems that I need to be better. I need to realize the problems with what I was doing, and I need to be an example for people to know and to be able to listen to this and be like, hey, we're not saying it's equal to rape, but we are saying that there's a systematic problem that this type of stuff leads to those issues. And there's a core foundation level that we need to understand and not get defensive about.
Yeah.
Then we have Chappelle, who kind of like goes about it a different way. But then like Bill Burr, he was making jokes. I watched the special last night, and he was kind of saying like, it's been a couple years of the Me Too and all this stuff. We got them all. And he was like, I'm joking, obviously, but going through it all. But it's like, he was like, you heard all that stuff, and it's like everyone's scared now. Everyone's scared, and it's like, jokes aside and stuff, that's the truth. It's like all of the conversations coming out, all of the different ways that people are going about talking about it, whether it's news or whether it is stand-up comedy, there's conversation happening that's making people think about their actions more than they ever have, because they are now being told that you're being held accountable.
Yeah.
And so I think that to answer the question, I know I've been talking a lot here. It's just like, I do think that every single time these things are uncovered and talked about, we're moving closer and closer to a world where the next generation is going to be better equipped to handle this stuff and to better understand why bro culture is a problem, a systemic problem that could lead to very, very, very bad things. And at that point, it's too late. You can't go back from that.
Yeah, no, that I think that's everything you say. I echo and agree with. Right, the question here is like, other than telling them that what can we do to help make these issues go away? These issues will never go away. It's not going to go away. The issues will hopefully lessen. The fact that people are being held accountable to this, saying that everybody's scared, right? And I know those aren't your words, right? And you're paraphrasing, right? And everybody's scared, right? And I think even I remember when Me Too was happening, Henry Cavill was like, oh man, I don't even know. And he said it like cavalierly, or maybe not, I don't even know. But it was like in a written interview that got pulled out, right? Of like, he's afraid to talk to women because he didn't want to be accused of raping them or whatever. And like, that's a fucking really shitty thing to say right there, right? But extrapolating back from it, it's learning how to talk to each other better, right? In the way of not overstepping your bounds and not doing these different things. In this very specific case here from the developer yesterday, right? Not everybody understands your jokes if that's what they were, right? Like when it is black and white of somebody's Skype messaging or DMs or whatever it was being published by Jason Schreier, right? There's no context to that conversation, whatever like that is. And that's the level of accountability you're going to be held to as the co-founder of a company and being held up to that, right? And I think, and I know, stick with me everybody, I know I'm about to say something that is literally a lightning rod one way or the other, but if we can just use the facts from, or just the sentiment from it. When Chloe Dykstra was on We Have Cool Friends and we talked about it, right? The conversation she was having was, I was never looking to cancel anybody. I was never looking to make this into a thing. I was looking to express this so that other people don't go through it and then other people don't put people through it. And if they do, they realize, right? And I talked to her on that show about my own failings and things that I've done where I look back and I'm like, man, I can't believe I thought that was okay, right? And that's what's missing from these statements. And that's what we're all going to learn from this very tumultuous time right now, is that it's what you said, the knee-jerk reaction is to get defensive. Aziz Ansari, which I didn't watch the special, but from what you just said,
it's
right?
Amazing. I recommend at least watching the first 10
right.
minutes. It's on Netflix. It's fantastic.
Of totally knee-jerk reaction. Are you fucking crazy? That is not, you're insane, yada, yada. When in reality,
do you know my character?
What everybody needs to do is take a breath and understand another person's perspective. Yeah. And if you do that and talk through these things, guess what? Spoiler alerts, nobody's fucking perfect.
No one.
Nobody's fucking perfect. Everybody at some point has made a joke that they shouldn't have done. Lots of people have said things that you say in the moment and you think's funny, and guess what? I remember when we talked about this, where when this was all originally popping off, and I was like, oh my God, I just hate to think that I ever did something like to somebody, and you stopped me full, and you're like, I guarantee you have.
Totally.
And not because you're a bad person, but because that's how humans are.
I know I have.
I definitely.
Many times.
We've talked about it. I've talked on the internet about it and message boards and my Polygon comments about it. I've done things that I'm like, I can't fucking believe I did that.
And with that, I think it goes back to this, it's all the same conversation, because we're all in this together. We are all kind of learning as this is all happening. And like for the first time, we're talking about it. And I think that is the most important thing.
Is talking about it.
Is this idea of like, we're putting these words on things that like, we're trying to get away from being defensive. But then the moment that words are put onto it, all of a sudden those words become, God, for lack of a better word, triggers. And trigger is one of those words that the moment that's brought up, people get up in arms one way or another. They get defensive, right?
Sure.
Cancel is another one of those words. It's like people, like with the goal of canceling people or with people saying that they're canceled, when you start looking at the examples, it's like, you're not going to get canceled if you just handle it correctly. And if you like kind of, it's not just apologize, it's mean the apology and move forward. All the comedians talking about being canceled, they're not canceled. They have Netflix specials coming out week after week, month after month. It's like, you can't joke. Like Bill Burr jokes like, this is probably going to be my last special. And people laugh. No, it's not. Like the things you're saying, they're
Did
not
Bill Burr do something bad? I don't know Bill Burr.
No, it's just like the way that he's talking.
Okay,
it's just like, this
sure.
doesn't fit with their agenda. So whatever. It's like, you're not going to get canceled because of that. You have a huge platform. And they're only going to give you that platform more because this is going to be successful.
Yeah.
There's just an irony to it, right? And I think that when that translates directly to the game side of things, of just how you handle this stuff. Admitting defeat, and you might need to be the Aziz Ansari. You might need to be the one that takes the hit so that other people can grow. And that fucking sucks. But it has to happen. Somebody has to. Many people might have to. Things have been very bad for a very long time, and it's not just going to fix overnight because one group got taken down.
No. Yeah, it's because it's not about. I mean, we live in the world of social media and 280 characters, right? So that's why that trigger words become trigger words, and trigger words itself is a trigger word, and SJW and this, and you know what I mean. And it's like, in reality, these are very complex issues for the most part. Don't use racial slurs. That should be pretty fucking obvious, absolutely. Right? You know what I mean? Like, don't use slurs in general, right? But like, again, we've talked about it before. That's a whole different story of like being a kid and growing up and learning those lessons the hard way, right? Versus being somebody in charge of a company and talking to your not even collaborators, right? Like your business partners that way in a message. That's a completely different story. So it's complicated. I think we're already working on it being better, but it's a hard process to go through, obviously, for all of us. I think we're gonna stop there. You got to do another show here, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. I got to stream some Borderlands. But I again, shout out to everybody who wrote in. Lots of great questions. Keep them coming, please. Keep the conversation going, because that's what Kind of Funny Games Daily is all about. But we're also about hanging out together. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to squad up and play games with other people, you write into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody has fun together. Today, Riot needs help. On Xbox One, Riot's username is Riot Goes Woof. 3 different words. Gears 5 just released, but my normal gaming crew is distracted with the new Red Dead Online update. Would love to have some KFBFs to enjoy this game's various multiplayer modes with, or I'd even help those who are just stuck in the campaign. Just want to share the fun of a franchise that has meant so much to me over the years with others who appreciate it as well. Thanks, and I look forward to squashing some swarms with the best friends, Riot. Hit up Riot Goes Woof if you would like to play some Gears 5 this here weekend. Tim, we asked people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you'rewrong and tell us what we screw up as we screwed up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Yeah, that's right. And listening podcast services. Nanobiologist says officially there are 1,346 spirits in Smash Brothers.
Don't ever forget it.
You have them all. Borzen00 says you have to manually update the controller. I think we talked about that for Switches. Borzen00 says the Switch's OS, UI, and etc. are also designed to be as small as possible and take up as little room as possible to give devs as much of the 4 gigabytes of RAM as possible. Interesting. A lot of possibles in there. Arcwing24 says the claims on Daemon X Machina videos are actually from the developers, not Nintendo themselves.
Weird.
Here we go. Tony says Nicalis is pronounced like the name Nicholas by employees of the company during streams. So Nicholas is how I would say it? No, interesting. All right, cool. Thank you, Nicholas, who I'm sure everyone hates right now that they know their name. Nothing like being an obscure publisher, skating by with little games, and then this is why everyone fucking knows your name now. And then Nanobiologist says, Matt Piscatella just followed up NPD numbers. Quote, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is also getting close to becoming the best-selling fighting game of all time. Currently, the record is held by Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Makes sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kind of Funny Games Daily for your week. I hope you enjoy Borderlands weekend, or maybe Ellen, if that's what you're playing. Let's run through the host for next week. Monday, I'll be joined by none other than Mega Ran himself. Woo! Tuesday, I'll be joined by none other than S.J. Mueller from DC Universe Online herself. Wednesday, thank you, Barrett.
I said fantastic.
You didn't woo, though. You wooed Mega Ran.
Too many woos.
Everybody get ready to boo the next guest. Everybody get ready to boo the next guest. Wednesday, I'll be joined by Gary Whitta.
Fuck him.
Don't you woo him.
No,
and then Thursday, Imran Khan makes his return to the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show. And then Friday, me and Tim close out your week once again. Worth pointing out, September 19th, 2 p.m. That's a Thursday. It's me.
Also
Kevin's mom's birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remembered.
What about his hot brother, Spencer?
That's like April something.
Thursday, September 19th at 2 p.m. It's me, Tim, Fran, and Imran doing the Gamescast. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. If you like the show, go to Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Show us some support and love. Like the shows everywhere you can. Subscribe everywhere you can. If you see somebody, if you're walking to somebody's house, be like, Alexa, play Kind of Funny Games Daily. They'll love that. Everybody loves that. You know what I mean?
What's up, everybody?
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.